Hey guys, and welcome back. So last time I was talking about vanilla posing, which is what I'm demonstrating here, and today, because of the very sad news that they're not going to be making a Hellboy 3, I thought I'd get my Hellboy figures out and have a little reminisce and have a little mess around, because they're a rarely used figure, and oof, I loved them. They were my holy grail for quite some time to get the Hellboy figures, and I wanted the lot. I wanted the movie, I wanted the comic, I wanted every version of them that they did, but money was a constraint, as these figures are like, well, they must be coming up to 10 years old and they are rare as hell. So I managed to get the comic book ones very, very luckily through a friend of mine, and pulled the trigger and got them, because I was sick of procrastinating and saying I was going to get them, and the opportunity arose and I went boom and took it, because it needed to be done. These figures are stunning. For people that don't know, these are made by Mezco. That's right, the 112 collective guys, who are absolutely ruling the roost at the minute. They're just knocking it out the park with some of them figures they're putting out. Hopefully I'll be getting my hands on some of them soon, and I won't do a review, but I'll be getting them out and doing a little video and mess around with them. So, Big Red is on camera right now. Again, if anyone doesn't know about these figures, they released this version of Hellboy without the coat, and the trench coat was like a weird comic book store exclusive packing deal thing. I don't really understand. But it is hard to get, and I'm really, really grateful, really lucky that I managed to get this. So, yeah, there he is in all his big red glory. Just getting an extra light to put in there, just to knock out that big shadow a bit. So, yeah, these figures aren't really that poseable, because obviously they came out quite a while ago, and because of the comic book ones, they're focusing on the sculpt a lot, because it's so iconic. Like Mike Mignola's illustration style there is just stunning, and they really had to try and focus on that, so they did, and they nailed it. They've articulated them where they can, but you know, they're still lacking. Like, this Hellboy doesn't have any ankle articulation at all, which is a real shame. As you can see, like, I'm trying to get his leg straight, but that foot there just isn't quite planted. So I'll be going in and fixing that now and just getting the shot right. But yeah, that looks like quite a nice shot there. I'm just gonna. But yeah, these figures are stunning. As I say, they are pride of place in my collection. And you know, I'm feeling a bit sad about the old Hellboy sitch, so I'm getting them out and having a mess. So there we go. You can see the articulation's really tight on these, and because they're quite rare, I don't really want to mess about with them too much and end up breaking something. But they just look so dramatic. Like, the stylized look of them really works well, and you know, it plays in my favour. I'm not the best at lighting, and it's good because casting the shadows on these figures, like, it does the work for you because the sculpt's so good. What I really like about Hellboy is that the way they've coloured his eyes, it's really bright yellow, pops really nicely out of them shadows. And you know, I might even go in and try and enhance the photo after and just bring out a bit of the brightness there, but I'm not really one for doing that, to be honest. I like to try and get it right from the get-go and don't have to mess around with it then and maybe make it look worse. But yeah, I've got a good couple of them. I've got Hellboy there. I've got Abe, who's my personal favourite character. Yeah, I can't remember the names, it's been so long, but I think it's Johan, isn't it? The weird scientist. We've got Liz. We've got Roger. As you can see, they look good just plonking them down. Okay, Liz is a bit bit close, but they're just stunning figures to photograph. They are, if you can ever get your hands on them, I highly, highly, highly recommend it. They are beautiful. I've also got Lobster Johnson. I know he doesn't really go with the team, Lobster Johnson, but he is a really rare little figure there. Oh god, Lobster Johnson is just brilliant. If you're into like noir sort of feeling things, he is brilliant. Such a great character. Yeah, I highly recommend looking into it and seeing what you think, because it is worth it. These figures are phenomenal. Again, they're a nightmare to get hold of, but totally worth it if you can. I've also got the Alien. I don't know why I've got the Alien. He's not really one on the list that I'd want. For anyone who doesn't know, this is the Alien. I feel like with the Alien, it was one of them figures. Sorry, I'm out of focus and everything here. The Alien was one of them figures that it plays a small part in one bit of the comic. It's not a big part at all. And I feel like this line was meant to be made ongoing and ongoing and ongoing. And it just didn't, because they release a figure like that, which is so weird, but they're not some of the main characters or the main villains or anything like that, as if they had a purpose of carrying on with the line. And it just didn't. I think there was 2 waves of figures. Other than variants of Hellboy, I'm only missing 1 figure, I believe, which is the big gorilla thing. But yeah, for anyone who's into these figures, you'll know. Look up the price of that blinking gorilla. It is crazy money. At least last time I checked. I've had these about just over 3 years now, and yeah, last time I checked, the gorilla was about £300, and I think I got all of these for 200. I think, like, all of the Hellboy figures that I have just presented, they all came with every accessory that they come with as well, which is great, because some of them come with phenomenal accessories. Like, Johan's got swappable hands, and he's got like gas coming out of his fingertips, because that's what he is essentially. He's a gas. And he's got the gas coming out of his fingertips, and it's got a hand formed in one, but the other one's got his actual human face formed in it, like he's trying to communicate with people. It's really nice, well done. So yeah, quite a while ago I was chatting to some people from Mezco, and last time I heard, which was a couple of years ago now, they do still have the rights to Mezco, to Hellboy. And I really want a 112 collective versions of these characters, especially these 2. This is your bread and butter here, isn't it, for Hellboy? And I just think, my God, my God, it'd be stunning to have them figures, especially with what they're putting out now. If you can get them looking like these, but more articulation with the technology we've got now, I can only dream. So I just wanted to quickly talk about composition, and again, we'll touch on the posing like last time, but yeah, it was more so just composition. Like right now, I feel like I've got them set up quite nice. Again, the joy of these figures is they don't have to be posed that amazingly. Like, I've pretty much just plonked them down, moved their head, got the vanilla looking right, and instantly it looks like they're out hunting. I could maybe try and darken this scene a little bit, and it would look like, they're out on patrol, hunting down a demon or hunting down whatever, and it can get there. It really looks the part. These figures, as I said, the sculpt's so good, it picks up the light in the right places, it darkens it in the right places. It's a bit hard with Hellboy because of the brow there, maybe getting tilted a little bit. You want to get them eyes lit up, you want to get that sort of face in, but they are so well done to how they look in the comics. It is just dead on. Like, every time you mess with it, it looks like they've literally just seeped out from the comic book pages. And it's great. They are a joy. If you can get hold of them, please do. So anyway, yeah, composition wise, For people that don't know, and I'm not a massive follower of this, but there's a thing called the rule of thirds. And yeah, you often might wonder why on your camera you can get the grid up. So there's like lines running down the screen or going across like that. And they're there to help you break it up into the rule of thirds. Now, if I get it about there, that should play nicely into that. And if I get Hellboy in focus, you know, that should make for quite a nice shot. Maybe brighten it up a bit, just changing the ISO on this now. I can make some nice shots, and that's what it's about, really. You know, you could have the most boring picture, boom. Like I was, you know, I'm guilty. I had it last week where I had the Forza figure just plonked right in the middle, but I was demonstrating how to pose, so I wasn't really focusing on composition there. But again, it's like painting a picture, it's, you know, you've got to compose the figures in the right way to really make the shot and make it stand out. So if you want Hellboy in the forefront maybe, and have Abe looking off like he's investigating something else, or he's, you know, something's caught his eye, switch the focus onto Hellboy, it'll you know, take Abe out of it, but the colours really pop, and you can clearly tell, even though he's out of focus, that is Abe Sapien, and he's locking eyes onto something there, and Hellboy's missed it, but he's looking off, moody, probably wondering where Liz is, or... But this is what I wanted to get across this, you know, just play about with the positioning. You know, you don't just want them, boom, boom, next to each other. You know, you can have that, that's fine. But just play about with it. Where would these characters stand? Where would they go? And you can tell a story that way as well. And, you know, it helps when you're putting in things like cutouts and whatever else. And, you know, even just captioning your picture, if it looks like they're actually telling that, then it works a lot better. Just trying to bend that arm a bit so it looks more natural. But, you know, you can see how I've set this shot up. It's a basic dio. I've got my phone up there, which you can see come down. I'm not the best with lighting, so I've got the torch on my phone up here. And then here I've got a lamp. I've got one of these cool bulbs in it now where I can change the colour of it as I go. So, you know, and even that can dramatically change the how it looks and what's going on, and it works, and especially with these figures, man, that's really popping the colours there. I like that. So for me, I don't know a lot about light now, and I need to look into this more, but it's something I'll investigate in later episodes as I go along. So there you go. Hopefully, you know, you've got something else to play with and look at now if you've watched this. Just think about the placement of the figures and the story you're trying to tell. Anyway, these have been my Mezco Hellboy figures. I've been Elliot, and like, comment, subscribe, and all that jazz. And I'll catch you later. Bye.